Welcome back to Breakfast Daily on City TV. The hashtag is Breakfast Daily. And we're getting into some entertainment talk with none other than Kwame Dadzie. Kwame Dadzie. I love seeing your name.
How do you do it?
I've made Kwame Dadzie sing on TV today. Oh, this is awesome.
How do you do
Kwame.
it? Hi, Kofi.
A lot of practice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't.
That's another discussion for another day.
Yes.
No, but it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Early in the morning.
Yes.
And we're talking entertainment. All right, Kwame, we've got some interesting things to talk about today.
Sure.
I know. Some money has been given out.
Yes.
Should we start with that one?
Money first.
Money, Charlie. Shika.
Yeah.
Ega.
But the money is not with us, though.
No. Okay, so Adjeteyfio.
Yeah.
We all know and love him, popularly known as TT.
Yeah.
You know, he's should we say, one of our acting legends,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
He fell on some hard times, it looks like.
Yeah.
Had some trouble paying his rent.
Yeah.
And somebody very prominent came to his aid. All right, give us the lowdown on
All
this
right,
one.
so over the weekend,
Yeah.
I saw this interview that he had with Step One TV, and he was talking about the things he went through when he was active in his acting career, and even mentioning the fact that he wasn't paid well during that time. And then he mentioned that he needed 3,000 Ghana cedis to pay for his rent. So when the video went out, I even spoke to the presenter of that show, and then he told me that the vice president, Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, sent somebody to him to actually find the whereabouts of Titi. And so they went there yesterday and donated an amount of 50,000 Ghana cedis, so 30,000 Ghana cedis for his rent for 5 years, 6 months renewable, and then 20 for his personal upkeep. So that happened yesterday. But the video is there where he complained about things in the movie industry, the film industry, and all the things he went through during that time. So the video is right there.
Let's take a look at that.
It means that taxi driver never made any money out of it.
I mean, how do the English people call it? Hand to mouth, huh? Or hand to lips. If you say mouth, that means your fingers entered your mouth. Meaning hand to lips.
Have you been well paid by acting?
It is a huge surprise to me when nowadays I hear these youngsters collecting as much as 5,000,
15, 20,000.
I never got paid 2,000 Ghana by any producer.
Or 20 million.
20 million, I pay Komieko down.
So how? Were you not negotiating well?
Negotiating.
Or that time it was not paying?
Hey, whenever you mentioned it, they will put you on blacklist. Meaning they will charge you. I quite remember one lady told me, the Nigerians are coming. The Nigerians are coming. We'll pay them in dollars. I said, okay. So he said, Titi, how much will you do? And I said, pay me $2 in dollars. Problem. It's circulated all over. Now Titi is charging in dollars.
Were you not driving at that time?
Driving. Bicycle Pombergo. Oh, Obaming.
David.
Hello, buying for you. I don't even own a bicycle.
Why?
I'm telling you my story, and then what are you saying?
And okay, so I know I'm currently in one of the beautiful houses where you live. It's one of the houses that you built yourself.
This house is rented apartment. I'm just telling you to help me pay my rent.
You don't own this house?
I don't own it. I'm renting it. Everything else.
So this is a rented apartment?
This rented apartments.
Do you work now?
What kind of work?
Acting.
Acting, no.
What do you do now?
I don't do anything.
How do you get food? How do you get money?
I've become a charity case. Right now, immediately, we need 3,000 cedis. That will cover 6 months.
Wow. Bicycle going back. Charlie. No, this is sad. Was it something about his era? We know that things have probably in the past decade or so, they've gotten marginally better, you know. But when Taxi Driver was a hit series, during that era, I suppose remuneration for actors, people in the creative industry was abysmal.
Yeah.
He suffered from that.
True.
I'm sure some people might ask, well, couldn't he have found some other source of income, something to supplement that? So there will be those critics.
Yeah.
But whichever way you look at it, this is sad. For somebody who gave people a lot of joy and a lot of laughter through entertainment, for him to be in this kind of situation, it's sad.
During that time, I know most of them entered into these fields by passion,
Yes.
People wanted to be seen on television and all that. The last time Miki Osebeko appeared on the Upside Down show, I even heard him say that the money wasn't that much for them at that time. Now, we still complain about the same things that happened years ago today. And we know that, yes, the system isn't so well structured for our people. You look at royalty system, even from the music side, the movie side, there is supposed to be a body called ASOC to cater for the audiovisual rights owners.
Look at that. Things
are not working like that. And so we can talk about the system almost every day. But I think it's a two-way affair. As we talk about what the system is doing for people in the creative arts industry, what are you also doing for yourself? I mean, when I listen to some of these stories, I feel sad for myself. I ask myself what I'm doing for the future, because what becomes of you tomorrow is as a result of what you do to yourself today.
And then people will be sitting there saying, he's been sitting on TV all these years.
Insulting people.
And he's coming to tell and now he's coming to tell us, rental accommodation. The same people will kick back at you.
So I wouldn't say that these people didn't live their lives well. I wouldn't say that. Perhaps they were not exposed to certain things. But I think that we're lucky now to get all the education about what to invest in, to get some survival gigs here and there, apart from the mainstream jobs that we do. Your pension, very, very important. People don't think about that. They don't even think about having insurance,
life insurance
and all that. So I believe that our creative artists should be educated more on some of these things, because we wouldn't be happy to see most of us or some of us be in the situation in years to come.
And in other jurisdictions, they've got the Screen Actors Guild, which we are all supposed to belong to. TV, film, whoever is in that.
Here they are in court. Here they are in court.
Can you imagine? All of that is supposed to exist to have things like you said, a pension fund, so that he'll be drawing on that by now. If we can't organize ourselves, who's supposed to do it for us? Okay, but let's talk about the person who gave the money as well, the vice president.
Yes.
He hears about this. He says, I'm going to take care of this. What do you make of that gesture? Because a lot of people have varying views on this.
Gesture, but coming from a politician, there are political twists to that as well. Let's be honest. We thank him for doing that. But for somebody who is a politician, for somebody who knows the plight of creative artists, he knows that people in the arts have always cried for powers that be to come to their aid. So maybe if you have future ambitions to become president, this is the time for you to lay the foundation.
Good point.
For people in the art to know that, this man cares about us. So I understand him from that angle. But yes, he's come to his aid. Now he has money. But what does he do with the 20,000? I think he can invest. He may not be active in doing any other work, but if he has a son, a daughter, or some family members to set up some small business at the side.
There has to be something sustainable.
Because the 20,000,
Charlie,
it's not big like that. It will go
it will be gone. And God forbid any major health issue or emergency that is gone in an instant.
Especially when about 2 years ago he said he had suffered stroke and all that. So I think that it's a good gesture from the vice president. But we know how to.
It's dicey as well, because what happens if God forbid the next person comes out and says in the same situation, I'm going through hardship, I need help. Is the vice president going to be able to come out and help everybody? Probably not. It's also an unsustainable
because recently
solution.
I also saw photos of Kwashe.
I think I also saw
those.
He's
also down,
Charlie.
Like that.
The system needs fixing.
Yeah, it needs fixing.
It really does. Fix the system. Hashtag.
Fix it now.
Fix the system now. Okay. All right. We've got other stories to talk about as well. What else is on the radar, Kwame Dazi?
Okay, so
I'll let you introduce this one.
Second topic sounds like something that has got to do with you.
Let's do it.
Akwese Japan appeared on the Upside Down show and then advised women in showbiz not to take their husbands' names for showbiz. Something like Kokwi Salome Hansen.
Yes.
Or Florence Obinim.
Yes.
Something like that. And she has an explanation to give why ladies in showbiz shouldn't do that. Let's take a look at that.
Okay.
One thing I can tell musicians out there, especially the ladies, when you're getting into music, please, not someone if you are now coming in, get a musical name.
Okay.
Don't use your husband's name.
Okay.
Don't.
Yeah.
Create a musical name.
Like
now,
a stage
if
name.
you're already married and you want to come into music, sit down with your husband or sit down with and agree on a stage name. Me per se friend me don't call. I'm Mrs. Sotu. I want to use the name Donko. Tomorrow is not Mrs. Sotu.
Donko still day.
Donko still day.
Exactly. Yeah.
You are not going to say, and after me 31 years in music, I can say Japan now. If I say Mrs. Japan, 31, I'm not coming to no. And so I'm pleading with the ladies out there. Although they all, not on the Tumba train, I just say shh. So don't even dare think say who can holier than thou, and that's why you know holier than thou. Don't do me, baby. Yeah. Starting.
Kokwi.
Yes, Kwame
Let me
Dadzie.
pretend to be the host. Your
Yes,
opinion.
Kwame Dadzie.
Because you're an artist.
And you know, I came into this industry with my maiden name, Salome.
Yes.
And in fact, for several years, even after marriage, I still used Kokwi Salome. It was after about 5 years or so that I went to legally change it and add my husband's name. I added it. I didn't take mine away completely. I still keep it as a sort of a middle name. So it's still in there because familiarity and recognition, people recognize me as Kokwi Salome. So then, okay, now there's a Hansen there. Yes, it's my husband's name. I didn't have an issue with doing it. You know, funny enough, we had a conversation about it, and I jokingly said something like, "Oh yeah, you know, I'll just keep using my name." And he looked at me and said, I've paid for you. You better go. You know, no, my husband is a great guy, but I think it's a personal choice.
True.
Yes, it does help that whatever name you start in the industry with, people know you by that, so it's helpful to keep that. So as she said, going in, you should know what name you're going in with. True. If it's a stage name, if it's your married name, if it's your maiden name, that's your name. People recognize that. But I don't think if it's your husband's name, it's your choice. You know, Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Tina Turner was married to Ike Turner, so she was Anna Mae Bullock. Okay. That was her maiden name, Anna Mae Bullock. When she became Tina Turner, Ike Turner actually changed her name and said Tina. You know, we all know as Tina Turner. When they were going through their divorce, she actually said to the judge, "I want to keep my name because that's the name. Yeah. That's her money. You know, that's bankable." Yeah. She said, "Look, that's my name." Ike Turner's like, "No, the name stays here." And the judge granted it to her. So yeah, you can keep the name Tina Turner because that's how everybody knew her. True. That was where her stardom and fame came from. So she kept, even though they divorced, she's still Tina Turner. Do you understand? So I think it's the power behind the name. It's how bankable the name is. It's what you came into the industry with, and then it's harder to change it later completely if you decide to rebrand. It's hard, you know. So you see, mine was an addition. I didn't completely cut it off, and I think it's, if you want to take your husband's name in the industry, fine, but just know, you know, if you have some kind of doubt about your marriage, maybe you shouldn't. But you know, if you're going in with it with your eyes open, and maybe your husband has a really nice name that you think is good as a stage name, like Dadzie.
So when I posted the story on social media, Celestine Donko's husband commented, and he was like, those who'd want to have conversations with their husbands to decide whether to pick their names or not don't have hope that their marriages will last. And so he differed from Akosia's point. So it appears once you have a discussion, okay, let me take my name, it means you have doubts that you're going to sustain the marriage. I
think again it goes back to when, if it's before you become known or famous, then you can have that discussion and make a decision, so that once you enter, that's the name you're entering with. But if along the line, maybe you've been known as Nanama McBrown, people know you and love you as Nanama McBrown, and then you marry Maxwell, and all of a sudden you want to change your name. It's like, she could, or Nanama Mensah. But the recognition would it's like, who's Nanama Mensah? And then unless people know that you've made that switch, it might be difficult for them to automatically associate you with that name. But her name is Gold. Now I'm McBrown. I would be surprised if she's like, that's a brand. Do you understand? So with such a powerful brand, I think it would be difficult to change it. You know, and I don't think for one second she thinks her marriage, she has doubts about it, and that's why she doesn't want to change it. I think she just knows the power in that brand. True. And there's no reason for her, and I'm sure her husband is very secure. He doesn't have any issue with her using her name.
Even with a very few women in showbiz who change their names, like Obapa Christie from Christina Love, Empress Gifty from Gifty Osei, I think they're still relevant and visible.
Yes, yes.
The change hasn't affected them that much.
Hasn't really affected them, yeah.
So it depends on the individual. And how
that's true too.
Yes.
Very, very true. I mean, and what about the guys? I mean, guys change their names and brand all the time. You can be Bandana one day, you can be Batman one day, and you still. I think for Shatawale, it probably even helped him.
Yes, you know, because the bandana.
Once he became Shatawale,
he blew with that.
That's all, you know. So sometimes a name change might not be so bad.
Yeah,
I think.
So you go with what works for you.
What works for you and what will keep paying the bills.
That's it.
And the husbands, don't worry. Don't be insecure. If your wife decides to keep her name, don't worry. As long as money is coming in, you shouldn't have a problem.
No. Nothing else.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
cool.
So I think that basically that was what Akosua Japan was talking about.
Yeah.
And maybe she was saying this because of her experience, you know.
Perhaps.
She was married to Amanziba, but she didn't change her name.
Exactly.
She kept her name.
She's kept it all.
Yeah,
so that's all we know her as. And it's fine. Imagine her being Akosua Brew.
Akosua Brew. And even the Brew changed his name to Amanziba.
Exactly. So what would have happened, you know? So, hey, what's in a name, you know? Anyway, big sis, Akosua Japan, respect. You know, she went to a good school. She went to my school.
Oh, nice.
So, she knows what she's about. Sure. But like you're saying, to each his or her own.
That's it.
I agree. Yeah. Okay. Now, we've got some music, right? The
countdown.
So
every Friday on 97.3 City FM, we have the top 10 songs in Ghana, hosted by Jessica Opari-Saforo. So we have last week's list for our viewers, the top 10 songs in Ghana.
Fantastic. Let's